Today we're taking a look at these MLB matches, which are happening on Saturday, September 3, 2022, and giving you our match breakdowns, betting tips and predictions in general on these games. Welcome back to High Stakes, let's get straight into it. Also, don't forget to subscribe to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos, and if you would like more betting tips and predictions, then check out our Patreon in the link down below. Our new Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. Multiple plans are available for each and every one of you. You can get 30 extra betting picks all the way up to 360 extra betting picks per month. Stop wasting hours of your time searching for bad betting picks that ends up costing you a lot of money. Join the High Stakes Patreon now and get the best betting picks. Going back to our video, we will give you 2 betting picks for each game, a team pick and a total pick based on facts and detailed explanation. So make sure to watch our videos till the end so you don't miss any of our picks. Arizona vs San Diego State. The Wildcats have lost 23 of their last 24 games, which includes a blowout loss at home to the Aztecs last season. Even though they will be better than they were last season offensively, they are facing a San Diego State team that was one of the best in the nation last season and is returning 7 starters, so expect them to struggle offensively in this game. The Aztecs had a very potent defense last season, led by their running game, which averaged 174.9 yards per game. Even though they lost their top rushers, they have a very competent quarterback in Burmeister, and they're deep at the receiver position with Jesse Matthews and Tyrell Shavers leading the way. The Wildcats didn't give up a lot of yards through the air last season, but that was mainly because opponents settled on exploiting their run defense, which wasn't very good. They added some talented players in the offseason, but they don't have a lot of experience and will have a hard time slowing down the Aztecs, so go with San Diego State to cover the spread. Our team pick is San Diego State -6 points. The Wildcats averaged 17.2 points per game last season. Even though they lost a lot of starters on offense, they added some talent in the offseason, but it won't make much of a difference against a defense that gave up 19.5 points per game and is expected to be better than it was last season, so don't expect them to score more than 20 points in this game. The Aztecs averaged 39 points per game last season. They are a run-first team that lost their starting running back and will be breaking in a new starting quarterback. Even though they score a lot of points against the Wildcats last season, Arizona will be better defensively this season, so don't expect the Aztecs to score enough points to push the score over the total. Under 46.5 points. Cincinnati vs Arkansas. Arkansas has usually been a one-dimensional offense, whether it's running the football or throwing it. Thanks to Jefferson, they average 213.9 yards in the air per game. That may not sound like much, and it ranked 11th in the SEC, but they averaged 200+ rushing and passing yards for the first time since 1971. Jefferson completed 67.3% of his passes for 2,676 yards, with 21 TDs and just 4 picks. He also led the Razorbacks with 664 yards rushing and 6 scores. The problem for Jefferson is that he lost his top target in Treylon Burks, 66 catches for 1,104 yards, 11 TDs, and his top returning starter in Trey Knox had 20 catches last season. Enter transfer Jaden Hasselwood, who had 12 starts at Oklahoma. Matt Landers, 6'5", 208, is a big target who started his career at Georgia and played at Toledo. Yes, Ritter is gone, but this program is no joke. They were taken to task by Alabama in the playoffs, who has NFL talent at every position. But their defense allowed just 27 points, it was their offense that struggled. Arkansas doesn't have the same kind of talent on defense, and while Ritter was the perfect quarterback for Fickell's offense, Carter and Bryant are not huge steps down. Prater might be the next Ritter, and the fact that they have 5 returning offensive linemen means they will rely on the run against a team with a lot of new pieces on defense. Expect this one to be very close. Cincinnati +6.5 points. Arkansas' successful season flew under the radar in 2021. They quietly recorded a 9-4 record and lost close games to Ole Miss and Alabama. KJ Jefferson returns for his senior season after recording 2676 yards to go along with 21 TDs and 4 interceptions through the air last year. He was also the team's leading rusher after adding 664 yards and 6 touchdowns on the ground. Jefferson lost Treylon Burks to the NFL, but will look to connect with Oklahoma transfer wideout Jaden Hasselwood early and often this season. Defensively, Arkansas will look to improve on last year's performance. The team knows that they need to find more of a pass rush and force more turnovers. They will look to kickstart this against Cincinnati's new QB. They just don't know which one it will be yet. Sam Pittman is ready and explained his approach. Arkansas will come out and air it out early. I look for KJ Jefferson and the Razorbacks offense to find success early, but for Luke Fickell to make enough halftime adjustments to keep their offense at bay. And NBSP, I don't see the new weapons for UC being able to score enough to threaten the over. The Bearcats' road to success will be grinding the clock and keeping the ball on the ground. Our total pick is under 52 points. Houston vs UTSA. Last season, Houston finished 23rd in the nation in passing offense with an average of 271.6 yards per game through the air on the year. The Cougars were 86th of the 130 FBS teams to see action in rushing offense as they averaged 141.5 yards per contest. Houston was 15th in scoring offense with 35.9 points per game, while they stood 19th in the country in scoring defense by allowing 20.4 points per contest. Clayton Tune completed 287 of 421 passes for 3,546 yards, with 30 touchdowns and 19 interceptions last season. He contributed 154 yards and a pair of scores on the ground. Ikod Bogu, 20 of 35 for 256 yards, 2 TD, is back to provide an experienced backup. With Alton McCaskill, 189 carries, 961 yards, 16 TD, out, that means other guys have to step up in the run game. That puts Tezhin Henry, 111 carries, 513 yards, 7 TD, as the presumptive starter, though Brandon Campbell, who transferred from USC, could get some work as well. Nathaniel Dell led the team with 90 catches for 1,329 yards and 12 scores on the year. He's back to provide big play potential. Tight end Christian Trahan, 37 grabs, 398 yards, 2 TD, and Kessian Carter, 26 catches, 331 yards, TD, provide experienced targets in the passing game. Dalton Witherspoon has hit all 34 extra point attempts, but is 9 of 15 on field goals with a long of 50 this season. Our team pick is Houston Cougars -4 points. Is ready to take another step forward after his most successful season a year ago with the Houston Cougars. He finished with a 68.2 completions percentage for 3.546 yards, with 30 touchdowns and 10 interceptions through the air, and 105 rushing attempts for 154 yards, 1.5 yards per carry, and a pair of rushing touchdowns. There are a lot of new pieces out wide in this offense, as well as waiting on sophomore running back Alton McCaskill to potentially be available after suffering a torn ACL during practice in the offseason. Having two veteran quarterbacks should give the offenses a bit of an advantage heading into the season opener and have the adrenaline to continue moving the chains. Neither quarterback turns the ball over much, so points on the board are still there. These offenses should be able to go for it on 4th down as they each have their starting kicker from a year ago no longer on the roster and will play an up-tempo brand of football. The over has hit in 6 of the last 8 Cougars road games, as well as in each of the previous 4 Roadrunners games, so go with over 61.5 points in this game as well. Our total pick is over 61.5 points.